Season 3 of Ginny and Georgia turned out to be even more incredible than we expected. Every episode kept us hooked with its powerful storytelling and emotional twists. At least I know I watched it with worry as our favorite characters faced tougher and tougher challenges, and it's clear they need a fresh start now more than ever. So the big question is whether Ginny and Georgia will finally find a peace they deserve in season 4. Spoiler alert, this might actually happen. Or will things keep getting more complicated? I know you're just as curious as I am, so let's dive into all the official updates about the upcoming season and find out when we'll get to see the show return, as well as discuss some of the expected plot points of the next season. Let's start with the biggest thing everyone's curious about in season 4. As you probably guessed, I'm talking about Georgia's pregnancy. In the final scene of season 3, we saw Georgia drinking a whole bottle of milk. Just like Ginny, a light bulb went off in our heads as we remembered Georgia once said she only drinks milk when she's pregnant. This scene officially confirmed that Georgia is pregnant. Now, the big question is, who's the father of this surprise baby? The two candidates, as you can imagine, are Joe and Paul. Most of us are hoping it's Joe, and we're definitely not alone. When Raymond Black, the handsome actor who plays Joe, was asked whether Joe is the father, he said, "In my heart, he is, because so badly as Ray, I want for Joe to be the father. I just want him to have that. Because we've been rooting for him, or at least I have been rooting for him to have a happy ending with Georgia since day 1 of season 1. So in my heart, I hope it is." Honestly, who doesn't feel the same? If you look at the clues in the show, it's been a while since Georgia was with Paul, but she was with Joe much more recently. So in the new season, we might see Georgia and Joe starting a new life together with Ginny, Austin, and the new baby. Speaking of a new life, I think we all agree that it's a basic need for the Millers, and luckily the show's creator Sarah Lampert feels the same way. When asked about the overall tone of season 4, Sarah said, "Everyone needed to break with the possibility to rebuild. Season 4 I think will be tonally a little bit lighter, a little more hopeful still, with a tone balance that we always play with." So finally, we can expect our characters to be somewhat freed from the worries that filled season 3. Especially for Georgia, since she'll have a baby with a man she loves. She's no longer at risk of going to jail and is trying to be a better person. Her scenes will focus more on peaceful moments rather than drama. By the way, who do you think is the father, Joe or Paul? Write down your theories in the comments. The drama that Georgia leaves behind will likely be taken on by the show's other main character, Ginny. In season 3, Ginny went through more hardships than ever before. She worked to get her mother out of jail, experienced a difficult relationship with Marcus, grew apart from Max, had to have an abortion, and suffered physical abuse from Gil. In short, season 3 was a nightmare for Ginny, so what awaits her in season 4? Let's start with Ginny's friendship with Max, because like many others, I couldn't really understand why her friends were distancing themselves from Max this season. Sarah explained it like this: she appreciates their friendship and loves Maxine, but has just gone through so much she really doesn't need Maxine putting anything on her in this moment in time. That sounds like a very understandable reason, doesn't it? Of course, Ginny will want to fix things with Max in the new season, and I'm sure we'll hear this explanation again, this time from Ginny herself. Getting back to Jinny Max friendship we love doesn't seem far off. Both characters care deeply about their friendship, and now that the tough times are behind them, we can't expect them to focus on solving their problems. Do you want these two to become friends again? Let me know in the comments. But when it comes to Marcus, things don't seem so simple to resolve. Even though he and Ginny got back together at the end of the season, his family quickly took action after discovering his alcohol addiction and decided to send him to rehab. Considering how low Marcus has hit, it's safe to say his rehab will take a long time. Felix Millard, who plays Marcus, also admits this won't be an easy process. Going back into regular life, into these dynamics with these people he loves, and showing up for them in a meaningful way, that'll be a challenge for him. Sarah paints a more cautious picture about Marcus's future and says he's not ready to heal yet. She admits there's some hopelessness in the final scene because Marcus isn't gonna rehab voluntarily. She explains it like this: he doesn't feel he belongs in rehab. I just don't think, unless something changes while he's there, that he's in a place to really confront what he's struggling with and make progress and get better until he himself wants to do that. Despite all this hopelessness, I believe Marcus will pull himself together somehow and decide to get better so he can be with Ginny, because Ginny will need him a lot. At this point, I want to talk about Austin, who left us speechless at the end of season 3. In the finale, we saw Austin regretting sending his dad to jail to save his mom. He also seemed to blame his sister because he acted unusually harsh towards Ginny. About Austin's growth in the new season, Sarah said he starts to have a real point of view and he starts to really enter the family dynamic in a new way. Honestly, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time because Austin has been through just as much as Ginny and Georgia, and we need to hear how he feels. My only wish for the new season is that Austin doesn't take after his dad. Now, let's get to the part we're most curious about. When will we finally get to watch this exciting new season? The 4th season was officially confirmed along with the 3rd season back in May 2023. However, preparations for season 4 only officially began this year on February 25, when the writers' room met for the first time. A few days ago, though, one of the actors revealed that they would start filming later this year. So the most realistic guess for the release date is late 2026 or early 2027. The trailer, which I hope will show Max rejoining the group, Marcus trying to adjust to rehab, the first cracks appearing between Ginny and Austin, and finally Georgia and Joe taking serious steps in their relationship, can be expected about 2 months before the release date in the summer or fall of 2026. If you're interested in finding out about another Netflix show, check out this video.